Today's cold and windy weather may keep Ocean City's beaches bare for a little bit longer, but there were still plenty of people itching to get outside today, taking a stroll here on the parallel boardwalk. It's not your typical summer crowd.
And I think if it was a little bit nicer weather, it would probably be more than you're seeing today.
But the opening of the boardwalk and beach here in Ocean City still brought out plenty of people.
It's nice. It feels like everybody's getting a breath of fresh air.
From the moment you enter town, reminders for people to enjoy their time here, but safely at a distance.
There's so many families. Everyone's honoring the rules.
It's kind of nice to see. It's kind of really refreshing, especially everybody's kind of separate. You know, everybody's staying in their own area.
And police will be patrolling to make sure that continues, especially at the few restaurants that will continue to serve takeout.
Thrasher's got nice tape on the ground. A lot of people are masked up.
And while the beach itself remains mostly deserted, many feel just opening up is a step in the right direction.
Yeah, I think everybody's ready to get back to normal, and it's starting to feel like it a little bit.
It's still unclear when many of the hotels and other businesses may be able to reopen here in Ocean City, but for the people who are out here today, many of them say they're just happy to be able to get outside. In Ocean City, Maryland, Dan Lamparello, Fox 45 News.
Well, there are now 31,000 cases of coronavirus in Maryland. More than 1,500 people have died. The good news is hospitalizations are slightly down as the state slowly begins the reopening process. Hundreds of people flocked to Ocean City, where the beach and boardwalk and inlet reopened for the first time since the pandemic began. Police were on patrol and officials asked people to practice social distancing. WJZ investigator Mike Helgren with more on the reopening.
Good morning from Ocean City. The weather should be a little bit nicer today. We did see consistent crowds on the boardwalk all day Saturday. The line for Thrasher's Fries stretched around the store as more than 50 people waited at the Ocean City mainstay. On the first day, Maryland's resort town has opened its beach and boardwalk since the pandemic began.
I said this is the longest I've ever seen this line. I figured I'd go ahead and stand in.
While police were on patrol, there was no locals-only mandate, even though Maryland remains under a stay-at-home order. People came from Baltimore.
We just decided to take a day trip. We can see how, more and more vehicles are coming in.
And Philadelphia.
I feel like everyone's just cooped up in their house all the time, so it gives people to actually go somewhere now.
Hundreds enjoyed the sunny, albeit chilly day, while signs warn them to stay 6 feet apart and proceed at their own risk.
It's time. Yeah, we need to be able to go do something.
First day of the new season.
Nathan Todd manages the Backshore Brewing Company along the boardwalk.
We opened at noon, but at 11:40 we had a line of people, spaced out that were very excited to see that we were going to be selling beer and stuff to go.
He's worried about the future and is willing to do what he can to stay afloat.
We want the staff to be safe. We want the people to be safe. So, we'll follow whatever guidelines we have to do until then.
You got to start somewhere. Like the day you were born, we crawled. We had to learn how to walk. Your parents pushed you to teach you to walk.
Many families are just happy to be able to come down to the ocean and hope reopening now turns out to be the right decision.
And this is only just a soft opening, like a new hotel, soft opening.
Yeah.
And this is a look at the beach. You can see it's pretty empty. If you do come here, keep in mind that hotels are not yet open to the general public, and as in the rest of the state, restaurants are still carry-out only. On the boardwalk in Ocean City, Mike Helgren, WJZ.
Today is the first day the Ocean City Beach and Boardwalk are back open to the public. Locals and even people out of state came to enjoy the coast. WRDE's Paige Marley shows us how some are enjoying today and others they're keeping their distance.
Matt, despite the colder temperatures and wind, many people came to the Ocean City Beach and Boardwalk today. Of those we spoke with, they say it's about time. They just hope everyone follows the rules and stays safe.
People like the Mogul family are excited to be able to enjoy the beach and boardwalk again, as it means more time with family.
I'm really happy to be here. I'm glad that we're able to come. She's about to leave for the Coast Guard Academy in a few weeks, so we were just happy that we're able to kind of make our own decision and come down here and walk around and just be smart about it.
Mayor Rick Meehan says it was the right call, as people have been adhering to the guidelines.
People are complying, and honestly, that's what we've seen over the past 5 weeks when the boardwalk and beach were only open to local residents, and now we've expanded that. But we did it because we saw compliance, and I think that's continuing.
Others are a little more weary of the situation, but decided to give the reopening a try. Adam Deal got there early before the crowds came in.
I think it's definitely a change. We might be going into it pretty quickly.
With most stores and restaurants still closed, many people were using the day to get fresh air, exercise.
I'm working out. I have 35 pounds in my backpack.
Or just to get out of the house.
Social distancing is required on the beach and boardwalk. As you can see, many benches are blocked off to prevent large gatherings. Wearing a face covering is not required. Many people we saw today chose not to wear a face covering or mask.
One Pennsylvania man came a long way just to see the Ocean City waves.
We were just talking about how the beaches opened up, and we were just like, let's just go to the beach instead. So we drove 7 hours to here.
Whether you're someone who thinks it's too soon or someone who's excited to be back on the beach, there's something both sides have in common. They hope everyone follows the guidelines to prevent any spike in COVID-19 cases.
I think that if all of us try and use our common sense, and, small businesses are really taking a hit right now. So I know that we're eager to get everything open and going and everything like that. And as long as everybody really tries to use their common sense, and hopefully we won't go backwards and all of that.
There were some mixed opinions when I asked people what they hope to see next. Some say it's time to reopen the stores and restaurants. Others say let's take it one step at a time and stick with just the beach and boardwalk for now. With coverage you can count on, I'm Paige Marley, live in Ocean City, WRDE, Coast TV News.
Today, the town of Ocean City reopened its beaches and boardwalk to the general public as part of the mayor's recent emergency declaration. 47 ABC's Camila Fernandez spoke with Mayor Rick Meehan and visitors outside on the boardwalk earlier today. She's standing by live now in Ocean City. Camila, how are things looking like at the boardwalk?
Hey Taylor, if you take a look over my shoulders, you'll see there are some people right now on the boardwalk. We're told we've been seeing that some people are wearing masks, but we're told that is optional as people are expected not to be closer than 6 feet. If you take a look to my right, you'll see there may be 1 or 2 people out on the sand. And some people we spoke to today say they're optimistic that the town of Ocean City will lift more restrictions in the future.
We've been cooped up in the house for 2 months now almost, and getting out is just wonderful.
Tom Cosgrove is just one of hundreds of people who got outside in Ocean City on Saturday after the resort town reopened its beaches and boardwalk to the general public over the weekend.
It's sunny, bright, and again, we were just looking for something else to do. We try to play golf potentially, but it's too windy, so we thought we'd come here.
With the cold weather on Saturday, more people hit the boardwalk while fewer people got out on the sand. Some also lined up for carryout at places like Thrasher's French Fries with hopes that everyone maintains public safety.
Yeah, I just hope everyone is responsible. I'm of course nervous about the whole situation.
In order to help keep everyone safe, several different signs got installed asking everyone to practice social distancing. Some benches also have caution tape to help keep visitors away from each other, and police are patrolling to make sure they're complying.
Compliance is the goal, and sometimes it's education. So we're going to make sure that we make every effort to do that. And if we do that and people comply, we'll be able to minimize any problems.
But ultimately, people we spoke to say they're just grateful that they're able to visit this part of Ocean City again, and they hope this step to reopening will influence other surrounding beaches to do the same.
They've kind of done some things that some of the other local beach communities haven't done, and I think it's a good thing to do.
The mayor also tells us that he does expect more people to be out on the boardwalk and the beaches in the future, but we're told police will continue to be patrolling the area to help make sure that people are following safety guidelines. Reporting live in Ocean City, Camila Fernandez, 47 ABC. Taylor, back to you in the studio.
All right, Camila, thank you. Well, the mayor says that by reopening the town's beach and boardwalk and inlet parking lot, they're not violating the governor's orders. We're told right now this is a positive for the community during the pandemic. However, some people on social media tell 47 ABC this just isn't a safe move.
Covering all of Delmarva, this is WBOC News at 10 on Fox 21.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Amy Lou and this is WBOC News at 10 on Fox 21.
After about half a month, Ocean City's beach, boardwalk, and inlet parking lot formally opened back up today. But the weather certainly played a part in keeping crowds to a minimum. Those who did venture out to the boardwalk were bundled up because of the chilly temperatures and strong wind gusts. From signs attached to light poles to warnings being painted right on the ground, WBOC's Bill Mitch shows us why plenty still say it was nice to just be outside.
Practice physical distancing. Proceed at your own risk. Wearing of face masks suggested. These signs were everywhere on the boardwalk Saturday. Be aware there's still a pandemic and we need to do what we can to keep ourselves and others safe. But at the same time, try and enjoy yourself, which is exactly what Mia Rochford was planning to do on Saturday.
I live one day at a time, so I'm happy for today and the sunshine and the ability to be out here.
The ability to be out on the boardwalk came from Mayor Rick Meehan's decision earlier this week, a decision to keep Ocean City moving forward. The mayor was out on the boardwalk himself Saturday, and he said he saw people complying with these social distancing requirements and said opening the boardwalk now to everyone is a way to prepare for when more people arrive in town. A test run.
Those crowds will build up, as we move further into the summer. So we want to make sure we can transition. If there's things we need to address, if there's any further initiatives we need to take, we'll have the opportunity to do so.
But not everyone was so quick to get back onto the boards. Farther north in town, we found Jackie Albin and her dog Sebastian in a dog park. And Jackie, who lives in OC, says the boardwalk is a place that right now she's avoiding.
I thought it was a double-edged sword, really. The more people that come out and come down here from out of state, I just think it's going to be could be good for the economy and bad for the virus.
Back on the boardwalk, a few people had stopped to watch Randy Hoffman hard at work in the sand, sculpting Jesus just off the boardwalk for all to see. And Randy, who was excited to be out, said he had the perfect name for his piece, Alive Again.
Jesus is alive again. He was dead and he came back to life again. And that's the whole Easter story. And that's our society right now. We were dead and now we're coming back alive again.
Coming back to life slowly and socially distanced in Ocean City.
That was Bill Mitch reporting. Now we asked the mayor about the next steps Ocean City can take, and he talked about Governor Hogan's plan and the state entering phase 1 of recovery. Mayor Meehan said the hope is that in phase 1, maybe some more shops, attractions, and businesses can open back up, but with restrictions so that things are done right and safely for everyone. And speaking of businesses, restaurants on the boardwalk opened their doors for the first time in a while. Here's WBOC's Jose Cuevas.
It's opening day in Ocean City, and yes, people are excited to hit the beach, but they're also excited to go to their favorite food spots on the boardwalk.
A lot of restaurants open, you get plenty of carry out, and it seems like everybody is pretty much following the rules. Everybody's kind of staying apart. All the restaurants have markings and such.
As businesses reopen on the boardwalk in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic. A different sight as a long line of folks set 6 feet apart by cones are waiting to get their hands on some Thrasher's fries.
I think everyone's practicing their social distancing, and the fries are excellent.
And for business owners like Stephen Pastasak, they are excited to get back to work while adjusting to the new rules set in place to stop the spread of COVID-19.
We've gone through a lot of things to be able to do this, between hand sanitizer and social distancing, public service announcement, between signage, between what we're doing with masks, and for PPE and all that kind of stuff we've been doing for our employees.
And for other owners like rappers Don Vargo, the opportunity to open up her business during this difficult time is a lifeline.
Yes, we've already missed an entire month and a half due to this. And so we definitely are looking forward to being open and for people patronizing us to try to keep us here. We have been here. This is our 21st season. We're glad to see everyone.
And as patrons return to Ocean City to enjoy some summertime treats, some feel like the new rules won't be temporary.
I do think this will be the new normal.
Definitely a positive experience for those who came out to enjoy their favorite treats during this difficult time. Jose Cuevas in Ocean City, WBOC News, Delmarva's news leader.
Thrasher's VP Stefan Patusik also said that his business, like many others, has started offering curbside pickup to meet the needs of his customers during the pandemic. And as you just saw, the boardwalk was not very crowded. The beach definitely was not crowded either. There was plenty of room for social distancing and then some. Beachgoers blame more than anything the weather, not the virus, for today's turnout at the beach. The Keller family revved their toy car across stretches of sand, one of a handful of people who showed up on the beach mid-afternoon. lots more room to play.
It's cold, it's the weather. I don't think people are afraid because obviously we're down here. I think it's because it's chilly. It's not normal for May.
The water too cold to go in, the sand and scene still drew a crowd.
So I'm surprised that the number of people that came out and at least came out to stretch their legs, but it's a great opportunity just to be able to get out the house, but also be able to still continually practice social distancing.
From Frederick, Maryland, these brave souls weathered through low temps while also keeping their distance.
Yeah, this is beautiful. After being stuck inside for any amount of time, it doesn't get much better than this.
On the beach or boardwalk, cold weather doing little to dampen moods.
And I'm just glad it's open.
Staying safe and warm on Ocean City's first day. Well, temperatures mostly lingered around the 50s today. People say they hope they'll be back tomorrow. Still social distancing, of course. Temperatures then are expected to warm to around the 60s.